Lone Star Gridiron is looking for interns. Over the years, we have helped dozens of students get jobs in sports media. If you want to shortcut your path to a career in sports media, click on the internship link on LoneStarGridiron.com. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Coach Kirk Martin from the Manvel Mavericks to the show. How you doing, Coach?
I'm wonderful, man. Fired up. Glad you're having me on.
I love it. I love it. I like to jump right in. Let's talk about what you have coming back this year.
Well, Cam Renfro, our quarterback, we're excited about him. He's been with us for a couple of years and really has taken the reins, and I'm excited for him his senior year and what he can do. Our leading receiver is back, Antoine Wilder. He will play a little defense also. We've looked at him at corner. He's explosive kick returner, returned a couple for touchdowns last year. Excited about him. Defensively, we've got Greedy James back on the back end. He's really blown up with offers and all that kind of stuff. But he'll be leading us on defense, and I'm really excited about him. We've got Nicholas Kemp up front, a defensive tackle, big, explosive, talented kid. Fired up about him. And then we've got a lot of guys that played a lot of football last year, but not necessarily starters returning. But we feel like we've had really good off season and have figured out the pieces to the puzzle. I'm excited. We had a good 7-on-7 season and qualified for the state tournament, won our pool the first day, and then, kind of bowed out early the second day. But, it was good to see those kids and who's going to step up and lead and that kind of stuff. So excited about our receiving core. Got some really good running backs, really a stable of running backs. Kenneth Malone Hayes, he started for us as a freshman. He had, he had 6 touchdowns. No, he had 4 touchdowns his last 4 games. Only played 4 games, but as a freshman, then as a sophomore, he started the season out hurt, and we didn't get him till late in the year, and he did again. I think he had 6 touchdowns, but we had a kid step up and take the reins there. Ba, he is a really, really talented kid and can run and catch. Caught a couple of wheel routes for touchdowns, and we don't miss a beat if we move him out. In the passing game. We had a kid move over from Iowa Colony. He was their starter, and he'll be a senior for us. Eric Mosley. He is really, really talented running back as well. We in the spring. He's a little bit small, but he's explosive. So man, we've got talented running backs, a really good quarterback. Our offensive line. We do return Camacho at tackle. He ended up starting the last 4 or 5 games for us last year, and he's a big kid, 6'6", and I don't know, he's 270 or something like that, but athletic and long, and so excited about him. Defensively, Sam Weary has really stepped up at linebacker. Ryan Phillips is another one inside that's had a good spring. We've got some, we're kind of rotating guys on the defensive line, and we've got some edge rushers that can really go, and so I'm excited about that. We've got probably 3 corners that we're working, and all 3 of those have looked good in 7-on-7. So, man, it's exciting times for us. We've got 5A numbers and playing 6A ball, and so to kind of start to build a little bit of depth, that we haven't had is kind of exciting. Knowing who our quarterback is, coming into the season. We've got a kid. at that we're going to play at receiver. Dante came to us from Shadow Creek and played varsity ball for them, and he finished up the season for them at quarterback. But he'll play receiver for us and backup quarterback, and he's really talented. Jaden Kendrick at slot, really, really talented, can return kicks, and I've been really excited about him. We've got a kid named Carter St. Junius out at wide receiver, 6'3", really long. He's just a sophomore, going to be a sophomore, and has several offers, and I'm excited about him. We've got a Fitzgerald kid that can really run. We've got our punter returning that's also a receiver, Tony Edmondson. He's long and can run. So, man, we got a lot of pieces. So we just got to see how they're all going to fit together in jail and really get after it. But I'm excited. Our coaches are excited. Our culture is really good. The kids have really bought in, believing in each other and cared about each other, and playing for each other and that kind of stuff. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And what holes do you see? Where are some areas that you're like, I'm really hoping that we fill in where we think, we are going to, but where do you see the biggest need right now?
Well, offensive line, defensive line, up front, we got some young kids, and we'll see who really, steps up and can do it. We're hoping that there's some of those guys that can do it. We've got a really talented, sophomore class. Drake Jones, he's probably 6'4", 6'5", it's over 300, but he just hadn't been there and done that yet. We're hoping that he can come on and be a guy for us. It's the same thing, on the defensive line. So, there's holes there to fill. We're trying to figure. We got Greedy back there for sure, and so we got three different corners we're trying, and so we've got some safeties that we're looking at, the linebacking core. So it's really, we're going to have it figured out. I think after that second scrimmage, we didn't have traditional spring ball like most folks. I just don't believe in that. We don't.
Right.
I mean, I don't believe in tackle football that far away from a season, and so we put in all our offense, all our defense, and we went out, an hour a day starting April 15th every day till the last day of school. So we had our whole offense and defense in. We even worked on special teams a little bit, and we've got some kickers returning that are really good. We got a really good deep snapper, and I feel real good about our special teams too. So we'll see. I'm excited and think that we can make some noise even in 6A with 5A numbers.
Yeah. And I want to talk about district, but first, let's talk about your pre-district schedule because that's not an easy one.
Yeah, Galveston ball,
Yeah.
they put it on us last year, and that'll be another exciting game, I think. And then Barbers Hill, we lost in a close one last year to those guys, and so, we're excited about that. I think that's a really good, non-district, matchups for us, not too far travel and that kind of stuff. And, we've been playing Galveston ball for a really long time. So it's fun to, get back, going with those guys. So Barbers Hill was kind of new for us. I'm excited, for that one. They're always really well coached and all that kind of stuff. So, we'll see with those guys, and then, jump right into district play.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about district. How do you think things are going to shake out there as far as the playoff spots?
Well, I'm sorry, my dog is going nuts over there. She'll be fine. So, Shadow Creek's really good, really, really talented. They'll have a ton of, Division I guys and that kind of stuff, and they do a good job of coaching them up and that stuff. Pearland will be really good. I mean, they're sitting over there with 3,500 kids, and Coach does an amazing job, coaching those guys up, and so it'll be really, those will be you know, the 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 top two guys, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and then, you got Dawson, that's always good. And that's always a rival game for us. And then, Dobie, hanging around and they beat us last year, last game of the year, last play of the game, so that'll be, exciting to get to, compete with those guys. And we feel like we'll be one of the guys grabbing one of those playoff spots, and we hope to be the district champion, and we're going to compete for the district championship. And we think we've got a shot. So we'll see. It all depends on how our kids play, and if we can stay healthy and continue to build some depth, because you can't go through the gauntlet that we'll go through in 6A ball and not think you're going to have some injuries here and there. And so I pray we don't have any severe injuries, but
Yeah.
you're always gonna have, you're gonna get beat up. It's just the way it is, and so we'll hopefully weather the storm and be able to be hitting on all cylinders when we roll into the playoffs.
I love it. I love it. Well, now I'm going to do what we call the lightning round. So I'm going to say two words. You just respond with the one that connects with you the most. Okay.
You bet.
All right. Willie Nelson or George Strait?
George Strait.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Hoodies or polos?
Polo.
Bucky's or Whataburger?
Boosies.
I love it. Ribs or brisket?
Oh man, that is a tough one right there. Beef ribs.
There you go. Nice. I like it.
Beef ribs.
Queso or salsa?
Queso.
Coach Prime, Coach Saban.
Wow. Oh man, I love them both.
Yeah,
Got to go with the legend though. I'll take Coach Saban.
nice. And Cowboys or Texans?
Texans.
Nice. And finally, Longhorns or Aggies?
Aggies.
Okay, now out of all the coaches in the
Dig
state,
'em.
there you go. High school coaches in the state, which one would you least like to face across the field?
Oh man, that is oh man. Golly, there's so many great coaches.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we've never gotten past Katie, so I'd have to go with him. They beat us three times in the
Huh,
quarterfinals. Back when we were at our best, and he's still there. So
yeah. Gary Joseph
I'd have to
Stidham,
go with him.
definitely.
Yeah.
Now, out of your coaching staff, which one is the funniest?
Uh, me? No, probably Coach Jeffries, or Brian Robinson. But both those guys are hilarious. We have a great time, man.
Yeah.
We have a really really great staff and guys that just enjoy kids and have a good time. Dewan Edmondson's hilarious too. Coach McFadden, golly, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, but I would I think I'm funny. I don't know if I really am, but I think I'm funny. Um, probably Jeffries though. If I
There you
had
go.
to pick somebody else besides me,
Well, that's it. I'm the same way. I think I'm
Jacob Jeffries,
hilarious, and I tell my wife it makes me laugh.
DC.
Nice. So finally, Coach, and
Yeah, that's right.
I know you've got to you got to say nice things about all the other sports, but this isn't your opinion aside. Which teams do you think in the other sports have the chance to go the farthest this season?
Well, man, our probably probably our probably our girls volleyball. I mean, they've been good for a few years now, and girls basketball is really talented too. They were young last year and had a little bit of a run. Oh man, boys basketball is really talented. They were extraordinarily young. Okay, I'm gonna say boys basketball. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna predict that they're gonna have a really good run this year.
Sounds good. Well, Coach Martin, I want to thank you so much for sharing, some of your outlook on the 2025 season.
Thanks so much, and we're so excited, about the year and about this wonderful district that we're in, and the opportunity to really get after it again. Thanks for having me on the show, and thanks for all you do for high school sports and specifically football in our great state. So thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Hey Coach, Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coach's Show podcasts for 20 years, and now you can get your own Coach's Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coach's Show started.